Welcome to Fact Axis, where today we're going to be checking out the top 10 most frightening underwater discoveries. Be sure to stay watching for our number one pick, because it will surely shock you. Number 10. Truck Lagoon Ghosts. During World War II, in 1942, the Japanese had gathered much of their forces around the Caroline Islands, right in the Truck Lagoon, when they were attacked by Allied forces. In a 48-hour onslaught, more than 50 Japanese ships and 250 Japanese aircraft were taken down without a trace, decimated off the face of the earth. In fact, it wouldn't be till 20 plus years later that it became an actual diving spot, where divers found the remains of boats, tanks, airplanes, and yes, human remains. To this day, it remains a fairly popular dive spot, brimming full of historical artifacts and all sorts of things a diver can find. Number 9. The Island of Bermeja. At one point or another in history, off the coast of Mexico was an island known as the Island of Bermeja, and then, some point in time afterwards, it disappeared. What happened? Well, get ready, because the timeline is kind of confusing. First records of the island were discovered from the 17th century maps of the area, which clearly showed the Bermeja Island. Moving forward in time to the 18th century, many maps in this time frame did not, however, feature the island, as if it plainly did not exist. In fact, in 1844, the British actually claimed that they had found the sunken island of Bermeja, and that it was several hundred feet below the ocean's surface. Then, in 1875, a map created by the United States showed clear indication of the island's existence, meaning that it was found recently and noted. Finally, in 1997, when the Mexican government sent out an expedition of the area, the island was nowhere in sight to be seen. There is much speculation and even conspiracy theories surrounding the island's disappearance and reappearance, but no one truly knows for sure. Number 8. Giant Squid. Giant squid is a species of deep ocean-dwelling squid. They can grow to a tremendous size, offering a perfect example of deep-sea gigantism. Little is known about the elusive species of squid, but on average, they're said to grow to around 33 feet in length. Some have even been found up to 43 feet. They're mostly found dead, washed ashore, with only few ever being photographed in the wild. As of the year 2020, their existence to us has only been known about for roughly 16 years, since we've had actual photographic evidence from the first time taken in the deep waters of Japan. So it's expected that we know very little about this creature. Hopefully in the future, we'll learn much more. Number 7. Skeleton Lake in Rupkund, India. In 1942, nearly 200 people's worth of bones were discovered when British Guard, surveying Skeleton Lake, experienced an abnormal ice melt. The remains eventually wound up on the shoreline, and while there was a lot of speculation on who were these so-called skeletons, many claimed it was from the Japanese, who had tried sneaking through India in the cold, barren winter. However, this was not the case. It wasn't discovered until later, but these bodies would actually have been dating all the way back to somewhere around 800 AD, where during their pilgrimage, they were all fatally struck in the head from a tumultuous hailstorm. Number 6. Sunken locomotives. Back in 1985, Mr. Paul Hepler was mapping the ocean floor off the coast of New Jersey when he found 2 rare locomotives that had been there for a very long time. In fact, these were only 90 feet below the ocean's surface and turned out to be the oldest steam trains ever built in the United States. But the real burning question is how they got there. Erupted from these questions was mysteries and conspiracies. Everything from interdimensional travel, aliens, and even time travel. But the most widely speculated guess is that the trains blew off the deck of a ship during travel while it encountered a fierce storm. If you enjoy these videos, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more amazing top list videos. Number 5. The Julia Sound. With so little of the ocean being explored, around 5%, it certainly leaves a lot to discover. In fact, one noise specifically got the attention of the National Ocean and Atmospheric Administration while they were recording and observing sounds of the deep. They discovered a sound in 1999, a noise that lasted for around 15 seconds and was eerily disturbing because it sounded like somebody whining or in distress. You can see, while this was a little disheartening, in fact, its origin stumps all researchers. In theory, it could have been an Antarctic iceberg hitting the seafloor, but nothing matched exactly. It's still very possible it could have been made by a rather large bio-lifeform, but it hasn't been heard again. The odd thing is, its noise pattern doesn't fit any natural occurring pattern, like seismic shifting, lava flowing, nothing. To this day, it's still a mystery. Number 4. Deep ocean life. Anywhere absent of light is bound to home some of the most terrifying creatures we don't fully understand. Deep down in the ocean, past the reach of light, lies some of the most horrifying fish we've ever discovered. Viperfish, for example, use bioluminescence to lure their prey in the dark. While mainly staying in great depths of water, they have been known to rise in depth to shallower waters in search of food. The black swallower, pitch black and swallowing its prey whole, much like that of a serpent. Like many other variety of deep sea and viperfish alike, they live at depths of nearly 10,000 feet and counting. While it looks completely terrifying, it's actually not too harmful to humans. The frilled shark. While its prey is primarily small fish and squid, I suppose it could do some damage with teeth like that if it were to come after a human. The goblin shark. Easily one of the ugliest sharks there are. Discovered back in 1898, they are a very rare species of deep sea shark, and sometimes even referred to as a living fossil. Perhaps one of the most terrifying is the lamprey. They are like vicious blood-sucking marine worms. A mouth full of razor blades. They have the potential to latch on and do some serious damage to the flesh they attach to. Number 3. Adaption of life. Deep in the Atlantic Ocean, scientists have discovered hydrothermal vent zones for new breeds of sea life like never seen before. Caused by volcanic vents, these go down around 9,800 feet deep. The amazement here is the complete adaptability of creatures who can survive in near boiling water temperatures and harsh water pressures. They've discovered things like bright orange shrimp who do not see with their eyes. Instead, they can see through infrared. All other sorts of eelfish, bacteria, and other miscellaneous sea life that have learned to adapt to these environmental extremes that can occur in nature. It's quite an amazing feat. Number 2. The Great Blue Hole. The Great Blue Hole of Belize has been a huge attraction since 1971, where Jacques Cousteau explored it very thoroughly. Spanning at 400 meters across and 125 meters deep, it's something that draws people in all over the world to come and explore its mystery. Caused by a limestone cave falling in on itself hundreds and thousands of years ago, it's created the largest sinkhole known to man. a truly incredible natural phenomena. Number 1. Washed up feet. There's something incredibly eerie going on in the Pacific Northwest. No, it's not a prank. This is really happening. Feet, of all things, have been washing up on the shores of Washington state for the past decade now. 15 of them, to be exact. And no, not in pairs. Officials are stumped and have no idea what is fueling this strange phenomena. The only real theory is that when a body dies and dissipates in the water, it comes apart at the joints, meaning, most likely, there's a host of dead bodies being thrown overboard somewhere, and the remains are washing up on shores. At least just the feet are. This is another very disturbing and bizarre mystery that begs for answers. But will we ever get any? That's the real question. That wraps up today's top 10 video. Be sure to leave a comment below telling us your favorite underwater discovery. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more great top amazing lists.